Okay guys, this is your last chance. After this, there's no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more. Drop a comment below on which pill you're gonna take. Okay guys, first pointer on how to use your powerlifting belt. Whether it's too tight, too loose, or just right. It's the lever mechanism. I like the lever over a prong because it's very quick to unleash the compression. With a prong belt, you might be fighting for a few seconds after you've already just done a grueling, difficult set. You don't want to be struggling with a prong to rip it open and give yourself that relief you've been wanting. So with a lever, it's very simple. You just unlatch it. And once it's latched, you know it's just right when you can barely get your 4 fingers in, right? This is what it looks like. This is when it's just right, when you can barely get all 4 fingers in, right up to about your knuckles, right? Now, if it's too loose, you'll easily be able to get your whole hand in there, ball up a fist. You don't want that because you want it to be where you breathe into the belt. It's not so tight where you can't draw big air in your diaphragm, but it's just tight enough to where you just feel a slight resistance when you're breathing into the belt, and then when you finally brace, you feel the compression in your lower back. And when it's too tight, you won't be able to get your fingers in. This is what it'll look like. You'll be fighting to get your fingers in. That's too tight. It'll almost look like your belly is overlapping on top of the belt. And you don't want that because, like I said earlier, when you're breathing into the belt, when you're trying to breathe into the belt, you won't be able to get a big air in your diaphragm, and you'll be struggling to breathe when you're doing squats and deadlifts. It'll be very difficult if the belt's too tight. Okay guys, it's very easy to adjust the lever belt. You either need a flathead screwdriver or a coin, a small coin like a penny will work. And you just loosen it up, one screw then the next. And then when this is all the way loose, you just pull it out with the bracket, keep this in place, and then move it down one hole to make it tighter in this direction and one hole in this direction to make it looser. Very simple, very, very simple. You want this to be very tight. Double check that this is not coming loose. Make sure this is very tight because you don't want this wobbling around once it's latched. All right, guys, let you latch her up. Not too tight. All right, guys, you get in position here on the squat. Once you're tight everywhere, your feet are where you want them. This is where you're gonna take your first breath. Let's take a look at my belly. Brace, unrack, walk out, hold that air. Take another big breath. Hold it and brace. Hold. This is where you want to brace the hardest. They can exhale. Okay guys, breathing and bracing is extremely important for stability. I know you've heard this before. We all need to be reminded of how important it is. You need to hear it again, and you will hear it again after me. Breathing and bracing is super, super important for stability on the squat, bench, deadlift, any movement. So when you're walking out the squat, you breathe and brace so that you have an easier time walking it out. Before you squat, you breathe and you brace so you have stability on the way down, and especially brace when you're here in the hole. This is where you want to brace the hardest so that you don't just bomb out of the squat. The harder you brace on your way down, especially when you brace here in the hole, the more power you'll have coming out of the hole. Very, very important. Don't forget to breathe and brace, guys. All right, guys. Belt use for the bench. Very simple. I go over it though for anyone who might be a little lost. Never forget to latch it. It's happened to all of us where We get so psyched up for a big lift, we forget to latch our belt. It's happened to all of us. Once you're in position, everything is set how you want it. This is where you breathe. Hand over to my stomach. And brace. Hold this. Brace the hardest here. And exhale. All right, guys, breathing and bracing for the bench. I take my big air and my diaphragm right before I unrack. Hold it, start to finish, and I exhale at the lockout. That's it, guys. Very simple. But breathing and bracing, again, super important. You can easily get 10, 20, 30 pounds out of any squat, bench, or deadlift with proper use of the belt. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go over a couple of ways to use your lever belt for the deadlift. Don't forget to latch. So if you deadlift with a mixed grip and get your air at the top like I do, this is what you do. Get your position, get everything set, everything tight. Breathe in, brace, and hold this until you finish the rep. That's where you exhale. And where you want to get your air, if you're pulling with straps or starting your pull from the bottom position. Okay, when you're in this position, this is where you breathe. Big air in the belly. Brace. Brace at your hardest here. Exhale. Don't forget the belt toss. If you forget the belt toss, get a refund. You don't deserve it. All right, guys, that sums up today's video. I hope you learned something. If you want to give these belts a home, please go to prlifestyle.com. They will be available from April 23rd onward. If you're watching this video after that day, please go to the link below in the caption, prlifestyle.com, and check it out. Thank you so much, guys.